So, welcome to 3 steps to kindle your creative spirit and your sense of adventure. Now, artists, who are often thought of as full of creativity, pay attention to different things than most people and then point them out to the rest of us. They make us wonder. This is the fabulous Roche Court, the new arts centre near Salisbury in England. I recommend a visit. It's a beautiful sculpture park, never 2 days look the same, full of beautiful work. Inspiring, world expanding, thought provoking. Now, you already have a life of experience and ideas in you. So, today, let's unlock that. Step 1. You ready? Just follow along with me through the steps. Hope you're somewhere quiet, somewhere private, but if you're not, you're not. Just go with it. So, step 1. Step 1 is to leave the everyday behind and to put yourself right now in a different space, a slightly different mental state, and let yourself know to wake up your senses, pull them all into play. You know that feeling when you're going away somewhere exciting that you've wanted to go for ages, and you begin that journey. You tune in and we're alert in a different way. We're on an adventure. So like Alice in Wonderland, we'll leave the everyday behind. So we stop, breathe and listen and leave the everyday behind. So I just want you to follow along with me, copy me. So 1, 2, 3. Clap, clap, clap. So breathe in. Now breathe in as long as you can and as deep as you can, and hold it as long as you can. So keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. I can hold my breath for quite a long time. There's Alice. So it's clap, clap, noise, breathe, pause, silent. It's changing gear. And you've probably got your own ways already of doing it. Soft, like breathing, or that grass. Or a bit more of a wake up, like the clap. Or these agaves, these spiky agaves from Spain. Stepping away from the everyday. What way do you use already to step away from the everyday? Share that. Soft or snap. Okay, step 2. That was pretty simple. This is too. So step 2 is simply to add some colour. So you've heard the phrase seeing through rose-tinted glasses. Well, it's a bit like that. So we use colour as a tinted lens through which to look. And no doubt we'll see things differently. We use the colour to wake us up and liven things up a bit. This is a fabulous artwork by Hassan Hashaj. It's full of colour, it's full of vibrancy, and definitely wakes you up. So, as one of my favourite quotes goes, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And for the purposes of today, Jess and I have chosen the colour green. And there are lots of reasons for this, which we could tell you loads about another time. But in daylight, it's the yellowy green colours which are the most visible wavelengths to the human eye. So we're naturally disposed to look at green. Everyone sees colour differently though. So if you ask 50 people which shade of green they can see, you'll get 50 different answers. Personally, I'm a builder's daughter. I love walking around DIY stores, paint stores, and looking at the fantastic or sometimes ridiculous names they give the paint. How about elf shoe, basil pesto, or jester green? Let's look at a different range. You've got wiggle, green pawpaw, lush hosta, Pharaoh's gem. And here's some greens from Morocco. You've got the lovely turquoise peeling paint, or the bright, vibrant lime green leaves in the sunshine. What's your favourite shade of green today? It could be different every day. And when you're thinking about that favourite shade, make up a name for it, if you'd like to. And you might want to write this down, put it in a sketchbook, notebook. I don't know. It's just fun. So there are loads of luscious shades of green, from deep olives, neon lime, and everything in between. But now I want you to look around you, right where you are, right this second, and pick an object, any object that happens to be green. Now, anything will do as long as it's got green in it. Ideally, it's something within reach, but anything green. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to go and do that. Hopefully, there's something in the room. So, great. You've got a green object, and now I want you to look closer at it and really look and see which shades of green you can see. I'll share mine. So, here's my phone charge cable, and it's neon green. And it's from a particular brand here in the UK, but I'll call it Halford's Limey. What are you going to call yours? Maybe write that down. Hashtag it, share it. Yeah, have a really good look. Now, you've got your green object, tuning in. Next step, step 3. Step 3 is to get really, really curious, to turn up your curiosity to number 11. It's like when you've been exploring a new country or a new place that you've never been before. This is in Sefru in Morocco, where Jess lives. And personally, I've never been there before. But just even looking at this image, I'm like, I wonder where that path leads. I wonder what's through that gateway. Curiouser and curiouser, said Alice. So take a really, really close look. Now, looking at your object as if it's a new country or a new adventure. And you might think that you've picked the dullest object in the world rather than me, but I'm inviting you to get past all that and to really, really explore it. And that might sound really simple, but it's not necessarily easy. I mean, look at my phone cable. I'm going to have to look really, really hard, make a bit of an effort to look well at it. It's pretty dull, so I'm going to have to join. But actually, as soon as I start looking, and we're here in the afternoon light, so there's shadows and there's different shades. Look at yours too. Love to know what your object is. So keep looking. Here are some Moroccan buttons. They're handmade, and I think there's about 40 of them in each cluster. What do you notice about your green thing, if I may call it that? Not just in the colour, but other qualities in it too. For instance, what are its strengths? And where is it weak? Looking at my phone cable, obviously it's pretty strong. It's one of those ones that don't bend and fray, except right at the place where it meets the connector, it started to fray a little. So we've got these little puffs of fibre. What about your object? Now keep looking. Now we're going to turn up our senses even more. This is by Nadia Mahaji, and I can't pronounce her second name. I do apologise. Beautiful swirl of green paint on black of all colours. Anyway, what does it smell like? I never thought of smelling a phone cable before, but it does actually have a smell. What does it sound like? If it were a person, what would it say? And what is absolutely marvellous or perfect about it? In this case, It's the stitching. Okay, well, that's all very well, but what can you do with this object or with its qualities? How can we use what we're looking at? How can we get ideas out of it? So I described this. If you describe yours, this is a cable. It's for transferring data. It's long, it's strong, and it's functional. But what else? Well, can you wear it? Could I make it into something useful? I guess I could. Could I use it to make marks? I think if I had some soft clay, I could probably stab the ends or make some imprints. If I dipped it in paint, I could probably make something quite interesting or try to draw with it. Never thought of that. What about noises? If I tap it on the desk, just how could I make it more beautiful? How can you make your object more beautiful? Maybe I could plait it. And what is missing? What else might I need? What could I need to transform it? In this case, if I had another 2 cables of different colours, I could plait it or weave it, or maybe I could plug it into something else. Or just think of it as a line. Your object will be different. So back to the emotional, swirly, beautiful. What about writing a song about it? A song about a data cable. Or maybe it has a story. Could we tell its story? Where did it start? What happened next? What might the ending be? And if I'm telling a story, if you're telling a story, would it be a tragedy? Would it be a comedy? Or would it be a romance? Joseph Albers described colours as characters in a cast. They all have their own roles, and they're all doing their own things. So could you make yours into a character? And what kind of performance would that be? Would it be for the theatre? Would it be in a movie? Maybe it could be in a comic strip. I expect there's some weird and wonderful ideas to share here. Feel free to email us or hashtag yourselves in Creativity Quest online. So, like I said, we aren't teaching you anything new here. You already knew this. That sense of wonder that you always had, that ability to play, to explore, and to get excited about something, anything that you choose to. The luxury of simply following your own curiosity and seeing where it leads. These are the olive trees where Jess walks her dog just outside Sefri. To be magnetically drawn to venture into the unknown, just for the sake of it. As adults in a busy world of shoulds and to-do lists and other people and their needs, that can seem like a luxury that we can't afford. Or we can, but just not enough, and not in the places where it might really make a difference, and where our showing up as that creative spirit that we know we are can have a hugely positive impact on others. So if ever there was a time to see what we're really all made of and what we can add to the world, it's now. This was at the New Art Centre. Fabulous. Look at it when it lights up. We can light up the dark. Imagine what you might create. So that's step 1. You leave the everyday behind. You tell your brain that you're off on an adventure. Step 2, just add some colour. And today we chose green, but you have obviously at least 6 more colours in the rainbow, or the whole colour spectrum to choose from, especially if you add Moroccan colours into the mix. And by the way, the human eye can allegedly distinguish about 7 to 10 million colours out there. And step 3, Turn up your curiosity to number 11 and go for a wonder. Imagine going into your next meeting at work or at a family meeting or whatever with your creative spirit fully engaged. What would that be like? So I hope you enjoyed those 3 steps and I hope you use them. And come with us on the next adventure. Book your ticket to Creativity Quest and I hope to see you there. It really is magical.